Hello and welcome back to another episode of Untold Chapters with Austin Macauley Publishers. Today we are delighted to welcome Sarah Henderson, the creative mind behind The Adventures of Pellington and Wefferlent, Parents by Train. This charming children's book takes young readers on an exciting journey through the heart of Paris, filled with fun, friendship and discovery. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Untold Chapters. Today we are here with Sarah Henderson, the author of The Adventures of Pellington and Wefferlent, Paris by Train. Lovely to meet you, Sarah. Would you like to introduce yourself to our readers?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on, Georgia. I'm Sarah Henderson. I live in North Norfolk in the UK, and I've been lucky enough to travel quite a bit. So when this came up, it seemed like a good time to combine the two with having fun with children.
Amazing. What inspired you to create the characters of Pellington and Wefferlent?
The original inspiration came from conversation with my son, who mispronounced Wellington boots as Pellington boots. We both agreed that it was a great name for a character in a book. I felt it needed a second character. So to continue with the Wellington boot theme, I introduced Welephant. I also decided at that point to keep the theme throughout the book, with the two characters wearing Wellington boots in all of the illustrations where their feet are visible.
Oh, that's really cute. I love it when something like so small can spark like a whole idea like that. That's really sweet. Why did you choose Paris as the destination for their first adventure? Was there someone that you had visited in your personal life and you really loved it?
Yes, I think there were two main reasons. I have visited Paris a few times myself, so I'm familiar with it. Secondly, I think it's one of the most accessible capitals from the
Mm.
UK, the train being the easiest method to get there. And of course, it's fun to travel on. And finally, it's also a city that's well recognised worldwide.
Mm. Yeah, the destinations, I like the fact that they have quite a few destinations that they see in the city. What made you pick those particular ones? Because I think there was one in there that I wasn't even sure of. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember going, oh yeah, I remember that that was a thing.
Because I've been able to go visit there a number of times myself, I think one of the most iconic landmarks and therefore a favourite for most people is the Eiffel Tower.
Mm.
Of course, I went to the top of it like Pellington and Welephant did.
Ooh.
I'm also a particular fan of the Louvre. I like to visit art galleries wherever I go,
Mm.
and this is particularly special because it's a fantastic building.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful. What do you hope that children kind of take away from reading The Journey of Pellington and Wefferlent?
I set out to write a travel book for young children that would be fun, but also including factual information that they can take in and gain something from. I'd like to think that it would inspire them to want to travel where possible, or at least become interested in learning about other places.
Mm.
My own son, he's been lucky enough to visit many places with us. Like all children, he loves to play in the pool, but also enjoys visiting the sites and learning about those places.
Yeah, I think it is really important to encourage kids to see the sights of the cities that they're going to and not just kind of stay at the hotel. I think
Yes.
it can add so much and you can learn so much about different cultures. So I really like the way that you wrote this story and you encouraged kids to do that. Did you find it difficult to write it in a way that for kids, because it is essentially kind of encouraging kids to travel. Is that difficult to write, or did you find that quite easy?
I think it wasn't easy in as much as I needed to make sure it wasn't a textbook
Mm,
because it would be too easy to include too much of a factual information.
yeah.
But hopefully I achieved that. Children do seem to enjoy it as well as take in some of the places.
Yeah, no, I think the way you wrote it was really clever, and it kind of pinpointed kind of the key places to kind of go to and to get kids excited about as well, because you did made them sound really exciting to go to. Do you have any stories coming up where Pennington and Welephant are going to go to different cities, or are you quite happy with them kind of sticking to Paris at the moment?
No, I'd like to expand it. So I have already written a day trip to London and would like to see that in print this year if I can. I've also started the research for Rome, so sticking to cities that children will have heard of
Mm.
at the moment. Ultimately, I would like Pellington and Welephant to be seen as a fun set of travel books aimed at children aged 3 to 7. I've actually visited a number of schools to read the story and also ask after the reading where the children would like them to go next.
Oh.
This always elicits some great replies from South America to see the armadillos,
Oh.
to South Africa so that Welephant can meet the other elephants.
Oh,
So they've
that's
given
cute.
me plenty of material to work with.
That's really sweet. I also love that none of them went kind of normal-ish, as in
Yeah, that's
like
right.
place like no one. I can just imagine like my nephew being like, I really like him to visit Wales. Um, but
But Wales has some lovely places to visit.
yeah, yeah, but this is the thing, you can get them to visit so many different places because and also teach kids about new places that maybe they haven't heard of further down the line after you've done the ones that kind of they might know, which will be exciting for them to kind of discover as well. There is so much you can do with these characters because they are so sweet and so it's such a good book and I can imagine it being an amazing series. My final question for you is if you could choose any three words to describe the book, what would they be and why?
They would be fun, travel, and education. Obviously, I want the children to enjoy reading the book first and foremost, because that's what children's books are about. And I'd like to just encourage children to read as a whole, but also hopefully it gives them a way of learning without it just being a school textbook, so they can take that away from it as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think it is you've done it in a really clever way to make people excited about Paris. And I love the fact that there were such cute characters as well. And it's just a really, really enticing book. So I'm really grateful for you to have joined me today. Is there anything else that you would like to cover that we haven't covered? Anything else you'd like to say to our readers?
I think that within it, it also encourages curiosity for children generally, and also shows how friendship can be part of those exciting adventures.
Hmm.
So, for instance, Pellington actually encouraging Welephant to climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower, although
Mm.
she's actually nervous about it,
Yeah.
but thoroughly enjoys it when she gets there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, my sister tried to get me to climb to the top, and I went, maybe next time, because I don't do heights, so I had to like gear myself up for it.
Yeah,
But no, I really like the fact that they kind of push each other out of their kind of comfort zones, and I think that is again something you need to do when you're traveling because you understand more of that place's culture once you kind of step out of what you're used to
definitely.
doing.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
But yeah, no, it is a beautiful story, and I can't wait to read the next ones that come out. But yeah, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Untold Chapters with Austin Macauley Publishers. If you've been watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've been listening to us on Spotify, please follow and give us a 5-star review. There will be a link in the description box below to Sarah Henderson's book, The Adventure of Pellington and Wefferland, Paris by Train.